Alright people, how's it going? Hope you are all well and recovering from your Christmas. I'm looking forward to just getting New Year's over and done with. Normally at New Year's, obviously, like back in the day, you would be at parties or um, whatever, like family and all this kind of stuff, but I'm not really feeling it this year. I want to get my objectives in order. Because what I do at New Year now is I write down a list of things that I want to achieve for the coming year. And I'd only started this time last year, to be honest. And so say last year I wrote down 12 things that I wanted. I got like 8 of them. Or was it 7? Something like that. And some people might think, oh, it's not that much, but excuse me, it is really, because you're mapping out what you want to achieve and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, as I say, I'm looking forward to getting on the done with. But what was I going to say? I hope you like that interview I did last night with Marie, who cleans crime scenes and stuff. We've been trying to sort it for a couple of months. I think we've been trying to sort it for like July or something. But she just had stuff going on, like trying to sell her house and all that. So it was kind of delaying it a bit. But got there in the end, you know what I mean? And I felt it was quite a unique story, because normally on my channel at least, it's either somebody who's worked in a prison or somebody who was in a prison. So I was really excited to get her on, you know. So some of the stories, but man, you're like, how do people cope with that? Do you know what I mean? And people might look at me and think, how do, excuse me, sorry for yawning, how do I cope with the things that have happened in my life? But human beings are pretty resilient, you know what I mean? They're pretty tough creatures. Even people who don't really think they're tough, you would probably surprise yourself. But you know. So anyway, I'm sitting just, so it's like fucking, what time's it here? 12:10, so AM obviously, right? For anybody in America who might be watching, I know I've got a few people in America that sometimes watch my videos. And I was sitting thinking, I want to make a video, but I don't know what to make a video about. And for some weird reason, this prison officer that I knew from Shorts Prison came into my head, right? And I just thought, I remember I heard a story that he was slashed by an inmate, slashed in his face with a razor blade. And I thought, why not do a video about that? Now, for people that don't know, Shorts Prison is like in Scotland, right? It's a prison where people doing big sentences, so years, long term sentences go. Now, they demolished it and rebuilt it, and I think it was 2010. So that was the year after I left. So the new Shorts Prison, I have never been in it as a prisoner. I've been in it volunteering, but I've never been in it as a prisoner. But this prison officer, his name was Stuart Sproul. He worked in Shorts when I was there as a prisoner. And excuse me, I don't know if he's still there, but what had happened was, he had been working on the landing, right? And so there's a screws desk here, and then you walk across, and there's a big barred gate, right? A locked gate, but just bars. And on the other side of those bars is where the prisoners live, eat, sleep, shit, whatever. And I think as explained in other videos how um, the gate is almost always locked. So a lot of these new prison designs in Scotland are the same. It's kind of the panopticon with the fucking like spiders' legs going that way, that way, that way, that way, and it's just like buildings with fucking inmates. And Stuart Sproul had went up to the gate to unlock it, and there's prisoners all standing on the other side of this gate. And you can watch the CCTV, you can actually see the CCTV, the prison footage, if you Google it. And you see Stuart Sproul standing at the officer's desk, and there's people kind of milling around and whatever, doing their business, whatever. And Stuart Sproul, the prison officers, went over to open the gate, and there's been people on the other side of that gate, prisoners, and when he's opened it, you just see one of them walking up and just doing that, boom, and just slashing them, right? And Stuart Sproul kind of goes to grab the guy, right? But the guy does that like as if you fucking want it again. And Stuart Sproul's kind of like shit, not, well, not like that, but like realises here, I'm bleeding, need to get help, know what I mean, get a scene to. And the prisoner, fucking hell, I hate this yawning shite, man. The prisoner, his name was Thomas Stevenson. He had ran back into the section where the prisoners are, where the prisoners' living quarters is, and you see him throwing something on the floor, right? And you see people all kind of like coming out to do their nosy, because obviously when anything like that happens in prison, everybody's out to see what's going on. And you see him walking down as if he's getting into a cell, but then he walks back round and everybody's all standing about. But then you just see all these white shirts, hundreds of them, right? Coming in, because obviously when for anything to happen, like even if he hadn't even slashed Stuart Sproul, if this Thomas Stevenson had just punched him, the screws would still. That's a staff assault, right? Every one of them's coming down to that hall, because what they need to do, especially in a jail like Shotts, is make sure they're in control of that situation very, very quickly, because if that was maybe somebody with a bit of influence or whatever, that could have kind of developed quickly into something, I don't want to say a lot more serious than a prison officer getting slashed, because somebody getting slashed is serious, right? But it could have went, do you know what I mean? It could have mushroomed, and that's the thing with Shotts, especially like when I was there, like when I was, the year before I went to Shotts, 18 months before I went to Shotts, there was a riot there. Fires getting set, it was carnage, man. I wasn't there, but thank God, know what I mean? But that guy, Thomas Stevenson, he had been restrained and obviously would have been taken straight to segregation. And this is the thing, right? They moved him to the state hospital, Carstairs, right? And the thing is, he had actually been in Carstairs prior to this slashing and been sent back to shots. So he must have been exhibiting some form of psychosis in the prison for the staff to even send him there. So, wee bit of a background, but when I looked into this guy's background, it said he was in prison for and it said dangerous armed robbery and all that, right? But when I looked at what he was in for robbing somebody, but the particulars of his case was like, in my view, the type of person who was probably at risk of being slashed himself. And I'm going to get to that. The reason that I'm saying that is because he was in prison serving 6 years and change for robbing a 70-year-old man with a hammer for 200 quid, whatever it was. And the guy died the next day, a 70-year-old, right? Now, when I read how this crime occurred and all that, it seems that he probably knew this poor old guy. And he's went up and threatened him and made off with money. But he dropped some of the money in the hallway of the house, right? And when he's left, this poor old guy who had been robbed summoned one of his neighbours to come and help him. The guys came in to help him, but this Fruit Loops returned, realising he's dropped some of the money that he went and robbed off this poor old guy. But when he went back, he had an accomplice with him, wearing a fucking gas mask or something. Pair of crackers, man. And went back, took the money that he dropped and made off. I think they were caught like that night, the next day. Not exactly fucking pair of bright sparks, not on him. And I believe that there was a charge of culpable homicide, which in Scotland it's kind of like a manslaughter charge. It's like killing somebody without premeditation. I'm not a legal scholar, but I'm sure that's the correct definition. So but the culpable homicide was dropped because the hospital and the post-mortem established that the cause of death was like lung disease or something, right? The guy, I think he had a might have been a smoker or something, I don't know, but I think he had lung disease or something, and he sadly died the day after these two fucking scumbags robbed him. Know what I mean? And it said in the article that he was a lifelong weed smoker and he robbed this poor old guy to get money for weed. I've never heard of anybody robbing anybody to get money for weed. I think he's been smoking something a bit stronger than that. But he had a history of psychiatric difficulties and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying he didn't smoke weed or anything. I'm just saying, like, that's the first I've heard of somebody feeling the impulse to go and rob somebody for money to get weed. But he was sentenced to like 6 years and a bit. I think it was 2013. I think the offence happened in 2012. So, serving 6 years, he wouldn't automatically go to shots, but he ended up there. And between being sentenced and going to shots and slashing this guy, Stuart Sproul, he has spent a period in Carstairs, and I dare say it was probably an assessment. And they're like, "Oh, you're fine, you're all right now, and you're sane." And then they've sent him back to prison. And about 6 weeks later, 8 weeks later, he slashed a prison guard and permanently disfigured them. And when I was watching the CCTV, I was watching like the aftermath of the incident and sitting thinking to myself, how the fuck could I put up with that? Like living in that. But then I looked back in my mind's eye to when I've been in a hall and something's happened. Somebody's been slashed, somebody's been napalmed, whatever. Somebody's been smacked or he'd with a pool ball and a sock or a pool cue, whatever, right? Because incidents like that are 10 a penny in prison. And the amount of times I'd just be like, who cares? Do you know what I mean? But I think now it's because I'm looking at it from a different perspective, looking at it through different eyes, and I'm like, it's like I'm looking at myself and going, you're fucking crazy, man, how you survived that. I think you would need to be a wee bit cuckoo, you know what I mean? But Stuart Sproul was actually one of the guys who worked in what was known as the NIC, National Induction Centre. Now, the NIC was a part of Shotts Prison that you had to be serving about, I'm sure it used to be just for lifers, right? And then they lowered it to 10 years and up, and then they lowered it again to 8 years and up, so you had to be serving a pretty big sentence to even be in this part of the prison. And Stuart Sproul was actually, I don't see when I was in the NIC. I was in there for 2004 to the end of 2005. So like July 2004 to December 2005, right? And funnily enough, I don't really remember any staff members in that hall who I thought were just scumbags. And you might be thinking like, that's unusual, but what's unusual is probably every prison I've been in, there's always one who I'm like, see you, man. Know what I mean? But it just, and maybe it was because they just had a major riot the year before, and because this part of the prison, it's to like help guys come to terms with their sentence and all that shit. Because when I was there, like 70% of the prisoners in this part of the jail were lifers. So you're talking, call it 10 random guys in this part, 7 of the guys are serving life, right? And I felt quite privileged because I had a release date. Do you know what I mean? One boy I was in Polmont with years ago, he was just starting like 25 life sentence with a recommendation of 25 years before he can even apply for parole. He should be up for parole now, but because it's been that long. Crazy. But I remember Stuart Sproul actually came into, because he knew I loved languages, foreign languages, right? And he had these DIY language learning packs with the CDs and all that shit, and he gave me them for nothing. He just gave me them. And I was actually thinking, like, is he nuts? Like, who would, I've never heard of that, like, but one thing you're allowed plenty of in prison is books, learning materials, you know. It's not as if he's coming in and handing me a mobile phone, a gun, or like, tell me how to escape or anything, you know. For the most part, they're just normal people. Obviously, like back in the day, right, like maybe before my time, or maybe at the tail end of it, I don't know. Like, you would never have slashed a screw and no got broken ribs out of it, broken something. I don't know if they battered them after it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, you know, because it's just the way a lot of the prison systems are in Scotland just now. It's like this kind of velvet glove approach with a lot of stuff. But living amongst this kind of individual who is probably fucking no playing with a full deck, like, you need to be on your guard 24/7. Do you know what I mean? And so how long are we talking? We're talking 2017, 2016, 2017. Like, he'll be lucky even. Well, he's serving 6 years, so his sentence is up. But slashing a prison guard and then being sent back to the state hospital, like, your life's fucked, bro. Do you know what I mean? It might be the best place for him, know what I mean? Maybe he'll get help, but no holding my breath, no. Just madness, mate. Know what I mean? Fucking, and it's no that. See up that car stairs. See if we start saying that shit up there, man. Ho ho. No be getting the velvet glove up there, I tell you that. Because obviously, as I've explained in previous videos, I was sent there when I was 18. I wasn't even 18. It was the week before my 18th birthday, right? So I spent my 18th birthday in there, right? And so we're talking the year 2000. So fucking 24 years ago, know what I mean? And me and this other boy battered this guy that was in for rape. We were in the thing called the admission ward. The assessment ward. Doesn't matter what crime you're in for, you're getting in there. So you could be done with a dodgy charge, like a chomo, a beast, rapist, whatever. And then say I'm done with like fucking whatever, like a normal criminal charge. Yous are all in the same bit. Doesn't matter. There's no protection. You're watched 24/7. There's no part of that bit of the place where you're no under fucking scrutiny. And when I was there, as I explained, me and this other boy my age, we attacked a serial sex offender. And I think I mentioned it in a video. If not, I might do a video about it, I don't know. And were held in, I was rugby tackled right across the carpet, and I had a big fucking carpet burn. I can't remember what bit of my face it was on. It was like right here, like the size of a 50p piece, man. Seeing how I look back, man, fuck me. And they know how they wrist locks, if any's have been in prison, when they pin you down, they put these fucking wrist locks on you. Pressure, like it's sore. If they apply the pressure hard enough. And big syringe right in the top of my arse cheek, man. Next thing you know what I mean? I'm like, fucking, fucking hell. I don't know, I don't know, it sounds like I'm talking about somebody else, do you know? But after 4 months I get sent back to Parliament. They were like, he's fucking, he's, he's, he's playing, he's working his ticket. Aye, crazy, man, honestly. So my point I was really getting at was, see if you might get away with doing it in a prison, but mate, see in a place like that, or I think they could kill you and make it look like an accident. Because it's not that. If you're in there, you're supposed to be like, I don't want to use the word insane, but I can't think of another word. And I know you know what I'm talking about when I say that, so, like every word you say, they're like, what does he mean by that? You know what I mean? They read your mail, they write down who the letter's from, they write down what it was about, and oh, it's fucking, I don't know if they do that now, but that was fucking every wee thing, man, know what I mean? Pulling your life apart, know what I mean? Going to visit my family and all that and ask them hundreds of questions about us and all. Fuck me. But doesn't it sound like there's, I know I'm sitting here now, but I never would have thought that. But it sounds like that Thomas Stevenson, it sounds like, man, there's no much hope for him, know what I mean? And I honestly don't know if Stuart Sproul went back to shots to work after that, but you know what? If I had to guess, I would doubt it. Because working in a place like that, for a screw to get slashed, that's quite unheard of. That's a once in a generation type thing in Scotland. Like that doesn't happen. Same like murders in prison, like inmate on inmate. It's almost unheard of in Scotland, and it's no unheard of. It's like a generational thing. It's like once every 20 years or something. But I think we've had a cluster. See, like the past, I'm sure it was like 2020, 2021, 2022. I think there was like one a year. There was like three in the space of 3 years or something like that. Fucking mental, mate. That's that spice. Sending everybody bonkers, know what I mean? Making guys that are already bonkers even more bonkers, know what I mean? Living amongst that. It's like staying in an alligator pit, know what I mean? Fuck that. And you know, sometimes I sit and think, like, sometimes coming back from prison, it's not to try and minimise people who've deployed abroad to fight in war, but see, trying to come back for that experience, to me there's a lot of parallels between people in the military and people in prison. I've always said that. Trying to come back and readjust to life, and the high incidence of PTSD and all this kind of shit, man. Trust me, prisoners and military are kind of, to me, they're almost like the reverse image in a way. In the context of the regimented life and drilling shit into you and have to do the kind of same stuff every day, and then when you leave you come back and trying to resettle and reprogram yourself almost, do you know? Some A's manage it and some A's don't, you know? I never thought I would have, but it's day to day, do you know? When we, like, I don't ever think it could never happen again, do you know? Because it could, anything could happen, man, do you know what I mean? Could get blew up tomorrow. Could turn into a vampire. Kidding, man. But just shows you, but know what I mean? Anyway, I will leave it there. It's 20 to 1. I was just a bit bored there because all I've been doing all day is tidying stuff and cleaning and shit, so taking my tree down, all that shit, know what I mean? Try to sort my mind out for 2025 because I've got shit I want to be achieving, and I love writing shit down now, like what I want to do for next year and all that. Here's hoping. It's got to be a lot of good things coming out of next year as well, do you know what I mean? But anyway, yous all take care. Thanks for watching and subbing and leaving lots of positive comments, because it's good to see how many people out there are struggling with their own demons but still fighting through it and just living a better life than they've lived before, do you know, like myself. It is good to see. But yous all take care, and I will see yous all next time I'm back on. I might do another live, do you know, I was actually thinking of doing one tomorrow night for a pure laugh. Because I don't think I'm going about partying, but you never know, I might just do a spontaneous one and get a giggle. But yous all take care, and be safe, be well, and I'll see you all next time I'm back on. Catch yous, good night.